Okay, we're back. I'm gonna turn the music down. Heaven knows if somebody's Leopold Stokowski's people are gonna be angry. I love Leopold Stokowski. I thought he was a wonderful director. Conductor. He was fantastic. He was quite a character too. All right, first let's go. We're not gonna go too deep into this. I don't want to go too deep on this. We're gonna go into our GPS. It's generally a basic GPS. It will show you turn by turn. It will tell you when it's time to turn off. It'll even show like little pictures of the sign saying what the signs are going to look like. It'll drop down too, which is nice here. So you can you can either bring up the controls if you need them or not. I don't want to go too deep into it. There's really no reason into it. It's not bad. It doesn't look as good as you think it is, but it actually works pretty well. It is limited on some of its settings. I don't know whether we're going to do, if I should go into settings on this guy or not. Does traffic, navigation, where am I? I don't want to go into the navigation menu. If you guys really want it, you guys can send me something, tell me you want to see the navigation menu, but I don't want to really go. Navigation's navigation. It works well. I've been happy with it. I've used it several times. I think it's well worth it. It comes with the car anyway. You can always switch to Waze if you like. Another problem is if you switch to Waze, it won't show up here. Very stupid too. I don't know why they can't get their software set up so what's coming off of Android Auto or Apple CarPlay can't show right here. That's dumb. Another thing is this entire navigation system and most of stuff gets turned off when you go into when you plug in your phone. If you want to go back to the old stuff, you have to unplug your phone and turn off, so Android Auto isn't running. That's also very weird. I don't understand that. I just don't get it. I don't get it. We're not going to go into it, but climate control. Is your general climate control? Actually, am I going to go that way? Let's go back to the home button. Do we want to start climate control? Because we still got car settings and so forth. Yeah, let's just go down the line. We're going to do audio last because you guys know I'm an audio nut. Well, I'm an audio bitcher, that's for sure. All right, your climate controls. A lot of push buttons and stuff. Generally, I'm going to use the buttons that are below on the dash. I think they're easier to use and better to use. I don't want to fool around with these buttons, but sometimes you do. You can actually change the temperature with a voice command. Let's see.
Please say a command.
Change temperature to 69 degrees.
Did you say 69 degrees?
Yes.
Setting temperature to 69 degrees.
And there you go. Works pretty well. Very simple. You'll notice there's something missing on this. The steering wheel heater isn't in the climate control thing. You have this thing up here. It says menu. And it gives you more things, including your steering wheel heating. Stupid. Steering wheel heaters should also be in the main screen. They should find some way to do that. I don't like that. But, whatever. Most of your controls are right down here on the dash, except for the steering wheel heat control. There is no physical button for that. That's all computer controlled, and you can do that in the home area. So we're going to go ahead and close that. I'm having a little bit more trouble. Now, there's something I want to show about this screen. This screen actually sucks in comparison to the one in the Honda. The Honda one is just nicer looking. It's this one is more anti-glare, so you're not going to get as much glare. But I don't get any glare off the one in the Honda anyway. It's kind of fuzzy. It doesn't seem as sharp. I don't like it as much. Also, the distance to it, it's not as easy to reach for it when driving. It would be nicer if they brought it a little closer. I don't see that happening either, but just a nice idea. I don't know. That's the climate control. Really not much to it. I rarely use it. I just set my temperature and let it go. Phone settings. Recent call lists. You can, of course, look at your contacts. A to Z jump. Now, I'm going to hit the A to Z jump real quick. Few interesting things. I like the way this is, that you can jump directly with letters and so forth. I guess going in alphabetical order is probably the best way to do it. I wish I had a choice to switch to QWERTY, to the keyboard things, because when I'm typing in names and stuff, this doesn't happen in this case. In this case, I just hit, one like A, You know, and it takes you at the front and so forth. I got a bunch of names there. Let's back out. I guess it's okay, but if I have to type in the name of something, it's easier on a QWERTY keyboard than it is on a alphabetical keyboard. Of course, you got your contacts list, Elliot, which will take you into phone settings and so forth. View devices, manage contacts, set phone ringtones, and so forth. I don't know how much of this is in general settings, so oh yeah, this is in general settings. It jumps to general settings when I do that, so we're going to do that when we get into general settings. Phone voice service. You found out that I lost connection there. I do apologize. It's going to have to break down into another video. I'm sorry it's short like that. I'm going to try to reconnect the videos together. See, that's what happens when you're doing things you're not 100% sure about anymore. Essentially, it turns on Google Voice, so you can do phone control through Google. Not a bad idea to add it there. Do not disturb, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. Phone keypad, it's also pretty much self-explanatory. So you could dial in a number as necessary. We're just going to go back. I don't like the look of this screen. Look at the icons. They're ugly. There's nothing fancy about it. I don't like the look of it. Ford, time to send spies to Honda. You need to steal their design. This one just kind of sucks. Text messages. You will receive notifications for new text messages. Yes, I have seen that. I've never looked at the text messages and how they work. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've had a text message come through on this. Okay, thank you. It's successfully. Oh, yeah, you got to hit back. And then, of course, change your device. I guess that's pretty self-explanatory, too. We've been in navigation. Apps. All right. Find mobile apps. It'll search on your phone for mobile apps that'll work in their My App system. They have this thing called My App where it can run your apps directly here. I haven't been able to get it to work consistently at all. I think My App sucks. I really do. I think it's not ready for prime time. I think it needs to be worked on. I think it's relatively useless. I think it's a great idea. I don't think there's much that will work on it, but it doesn't seem to work. At least not for me. You got your power flow meter. Of course, it's going to give you your power flow of the car. Right now we're running battery to run other, which is, again, apparently not the climate. I guess it's running the stereo or the other powers and so forth. Not a bad little icon. I don't generally watch it, but it's nice to have. I guess most people want to have it. Go back in the apps menu. And you got Sirius Travel Link. You get 6 months of Sirius XM with this thing, as opposed to only 3 months with Honda. There's a lot of good stuff here. The Travel Link gives you all sorts of stuff you can do. Finding stations, the weather, it'll even give you a radar and all that. I don't need to show you all that stuff, but just give you an idea of what it has. You get out Travel Link. Travel Link's not important. We want to get into the settings. Let's get into the settings and how you set things up in this car. All right, we'll go ahead and do the sound setting. Even though we're not doing audio, let's just look at the sound settings so you can get an idea. You got treble, mid-range, and bass. Looking at that thing, I think you got an idea how this system sounds. Very bassy, almost no treble. I think Sony was looking for some booming excitement. I think they failed on that aspect. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. The stereo doesn't rattle in this car. Very hard to get it rattled. You can, but you have to really hit certain things very high. You also have an easy, there was a button down here I showed you earlier. You're not going to see it now. But a sound button you can physically go to this sound settings anytime you want while you're driving. You got your balance and fade, which is pretty basic stuff, just like everything else. You can physically move it yourself, or just do balance and fade to get an idea, or reset it directly right up there at the top. So we're going to get out of this menu. Speed, compensation, volume, I don't have that on. And then you've got two sound modes. You got stereo, and you got fake surround. Right now I'm playing everything in stereo. I've tried fake surround for a while. It's pretty cool, but it lowers volumes a little. I'm probably going to end up sticking with stereo over the long term. So we're going to get back out of the sound settings. And we're going to move on to media player. I'm not familiar with that. Oh, okay. Cover priority. Whether you want to pull on the media player or through Grace Note systems. That's for, your cover art. Grace Note management. Whether you want Grace Note to actually grab information about songs it hears. And your database info for Grace Note, what version you have, and so forth. It's getting a little dark out here, and I'd rather do the rest of this in the daytime. I'm going to have to hook this onto the next one, so, well, let's just keep going. All right, we got, of course, our clock settings. Pretty basic stuff here. Clock format, AM, FM, reset based on your GPS, which is nice. So if you want to make sure your clock is set completely. Also, you got these nice info buttons. Something nice that Ford gives you for all of us stupid people. Enable to automatically adjust the vehicle's clock when entering a new time zone. Gee whiz, what a shock there. But it's cool. It does it, and it's easy to set. Again, ugly background. You can change backgrounds, but it still sucks. It's not easy. Navigation, we're not bothering with. Bluetooth. Turn Bluetooth on. Adding Bluetooth devices.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
Okay, it'll come you through on how to do it. I think it's very simple. Again, view what devices. And of course, we have Elliot, and it's set up for sound and telephony. Again, very basic menus. Very ugly. Very, very simple. All right, we've been... Oh, yeah, we were going to look at the phone. We never got... We already went... We've looked at mobile apps. We can go into that. Actually, let's back up. Sorry, having trouble. I have this on double thing, so good. Let's see how the... Yeah, enable your mobile apps. Enable mobile apps via USB. I believe on the iPhone you have to use USB to do your mobile apps. I can't get the mobile apps to work right, so... Your mileage is going to vary quite a bit. I think a lot of people have been having trouble with them, so I don't think it's a particularly well set up system. This is a Sync 3 system, I think version 3.3, so it's not really up there yet. But phone settings, view devices, I think we've already been in that. Manage contacts. Again, this is kind of like a physical list of some of the things we've already seen. You can set your ringtone, various ringtones. This one, you can hear what it sounds like. Woo! Very cool. That's the ringtone number 2. Stupid. What's ringtone number 3? It's also silly too. Or you can have no ringtone. Okay. Text messaging. Alright, you can turn on whether text messaging works or not. Text message tone, so let you know when one's coming in. Me, I just have it read it out by voice. It's very nice. Kind of like it. It's been a long time since I had one. Can't remember. System isn't all that responsive either. Mute audio in privacy. Pretty simple. Roaming warning. Let you know whether you're roaming. And low battery notification. Well, if you have your phone plugged into USB, it's going to charge the whole time anyway. So, not to worry. You know, something I have to say very good. I've been sitting here for quite a while. And we're still at 15 miles of energy. So it hasn't been sucking up my battery power too much. So I do kind of like that. I guess that's part of the auto setting. General settings. Language. I think that's pretty simple. You know, measurements, Fahrenheit. I don't think I need to tell you. Whether you want a touchstone beep, about sync, your software license, and your master reset. I've had to use the master reset only once. I have not had this system crash on me, though. I have to tell you that. Unlike the Honda system, which has crashed on me several times, this one doesn't crash. At least not yet. Of course, it doesn't completely work either, so I don't know what that says very much. Got another 911 assist. I think that's pretty obvious what that's all about. Display. Turn the display on, off. You got background choices. Yeah, I got to set the blue. I'm wondering if I should... I don't know. You got this. I have a feeling you can probably download some. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to leave it at that. I like this. I like the gray a little bit better. Your brightness, I guess that's pretty simple. Simple how to figure out. It's on standard. I figure how bright can this thing get? Well, not much brighter apparently. I guess it must be attached. Oh, I know why. That's because we're essentially in nighttime mode, but the car's lights aren't on. So it's not setting it to any kind of particular brightness. So the brightness is not really going to respond at this point. Nothing to do with Ford, just so you don't set it wrong. Mode. Day, night, auto. I'll leave it at auto. Why should I bother with that? I mean, I want the thing to be automatic. Auto dim also. So it dims down automatically. Enable for automatic dimming the display brightness based on ambient lighting conditions. Works well. I just assume leave it alone. Alright, where are we at now? Automatic updates. I haven't been able to get an automatic... I don't think an automatic update has come through yet. You can set your system Wi-Fi to look for Wi-Fi, available Wi-Fi networks, availability notifications. It'll search. You have to sometimes let it search multiple times before it finds things. Kind of like the Honda one. For some reason, it's having trouble reading mine inside my house. But, yeah, there it is. It hurts when I pee. We all know about that. 2 girls, 1 router. I have a feeling some of you guys probably know what that's all about. I'm not going to get into gross jokes, but I think somebody else has got a sense of humor like me, right? Wi-Fi network's pretty simple, and notification when you're Wi-Fi. And you can also find, you can scan for updates when you want to, view current software versions. As I said, I'm on Sync 3, 3.3. I think they need to rethink this whole thing. It's time to start from scratch again. Apparently this is one of their scratch, the Sync series. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's uninspiring. It's time to hire some graphic artists to make a prettier screen. And I don't think the screen is very good. There we go. It's not as responsive as it should be either. Alright. Voice control. You know, you got advanced mode where it's not going to be as verbose about asking questions. Are you sure? You know, confirmations, you know, voice command lists and so forth, where it'll give you a list of voice commands or not. You can turn that on and off. Again, we don't have to go too deep in that. I think it's pretty obvious what that's about. Android Auto Preferences. You literally have to turn it on and off. Once you have it on, it'll automatically hook up to it when you plug in your plug-in. I have it off because I stick with the regular navigation, and I don't really need much of Android Auto's features at this point, most of the time, so I don't use it that much. Valet mode. Enabling valet mode will lock the system using a FOIA. Yeah, enter to disable valet mode. Well, actually, it's valet mode. They're called valets, not valets, but, you know, it's hard to get over old stuff. Do you wish to continue? No. Vehicle settings. Most of that stuff's in there, but you got your charge port light. That's a little light on the charge port. Something else I wanted to say about the charge port. I have unplugged, and I've left that thing open and driven around with that thing open. Boy, do I look like a total moron when I do that. Ford, there needs to be an alarm in the car or a light that tells you your charge port is open. Now, it got all wet and slushy. I just wiped it out real quick and stuck the charger in there, and there was no problem. Apparently, it's made to handle that without any problem. But it really should let you know if the charge port is open. You can show whether it shows a light or not. Door keypad code, you can change your code. Camera settings. Enhanced park aid versus unenhanced. You know, I really don't know. And I don't know why you'd want to delay on your rear camera. I'm going to leave those alone. I'm going to show you how the reverse looks like shortly. Onboard modem serial number, I don't know. That's probably mostly if Ford calls you and says, oh, you're having trouble? Give us your serial number of your modem and we'll find out if it works. Yeah, whatever. Bite me. All right, we got those. Those are basic settings. Last but not least, you got ambient light. All sorts of colors. Kind of cool. You can switch different colors in here. You go up and down for how much brightness you want for the colors. It's really actually very nice. We got it set on green. That's what the woman who drives this car sometimes wants. Not my girlfriend, but still, whatever. It is what it is. It's a nice little addition. Not really all that important. What's very funny, very cool actually, and we're going to get back to the main screen here. Home. What's very interesting is, let's put on the car's lights so we have everything running in this car. So all the ambient lights and everything are on now. Everything's going to go back to the darker ones. There's an ambient light down here. You can see it now. It's in red. It's red. The reason it's red is because the car is on, and I've opened the door, and it'll do that to let. It's like another emergency alert to let you know you left your car on. You've left it. Now, if you leave this car with your keys on you and leave it on, it does something that I prefer it didn't. We're going to go ahead and close this. It's going to go back to green. Well, yeah, there we go. You can see it a little better. Goes back to green. The ambient light shows better on this car because it gets much brighter. I don't know. I don't know how well it's going to actually show in the end. Last time the ambient light I did for the Honda was a disaster. I mean, it just didn't work whatsoever. But the ambient lights are nice. And, you know, I just lost my entire train of thought. I had no idea what I was going to say. Just a quick view of what the lights look like. They're not bad. They're not as bright as the Hondas, but they work. They have a good spot right there. You know, there's your brights. Simple, nice brightness there. You got your stalks for your wipers. I think it's getting a little dark to be doing this. Yeah, there we go. It's your stalk. Funny thing is, the stalk on this one goes the opposite direction as the one on my Honda. Again, automatic is the first one up. It gives you the courtesy wipe, and then you can choose how many wipes it's going to do. The wipes on these are interesting. It's one of those back and forth. It actually wipes pretty well, except on the top edge of the windscreen. Gets kind of smeared a little and stays kind of smeared. So kind of a negative on that. But, you know, it's okay. It works fine enough. But their automatic wipers do work. And they do work well. I see now that I'm not in the twilight zone of time, so you can actually look at the main controls. Again, get a better idea what they look like lit. Again, I hate this thing. I really do. I don't like this circular thing. Switch to something else. It's silly. All right. Well, we've gotten in pretty deep into this, so let's shut off this light and let me show you what reverse looks like. The backup camera on this is not as good, in my opinion, as far as visual as the one on the Honda. Now you can see here it shows you the car and your sensors and what sensors are going to go off. It'll also show you an idea of where you're going to move. Again, very accurate. What direction you're going to end up on. It has a plus there, so you can get a little bit closer on the picture. Helpful. Not as good as the one on the Honda. I like the Honda better. What we're going to do is we're going to back up. There's a lot of snow back there. You can see I'm getting a little bit of beeping. Don't want to hit anything. This is a leased car. There you go. It ain't happy now. Time to move forward. Just to give you an idea, if it had the radio on, it would have muted the radio down. That's something the Honda needs to do. It's not good that this car doesn't do it. We're back in drive. We're going to pull out of here. And, oh yeah, it's complaining I don't have my seatbelt on. Sorry, guys. I usually wear my seatbelt. I'm good about that. We're back in park again. These tires slip on everything. If you buy this car and you live in a snowy area, you have to get snow tires if you're going to use this as your primary car. It's not up for debate, guys. You have to. There is no choice with this car. Either do it or you're screwed. Well, that's generally basically most of what I have to say. I'm going to pause for a moment because I want to say a few other things before we get out of it. Oh, wait a minute. What did I forget? Ta-da! There's your stereo. Oh, I'm on radio right now. Oh, this is something that this car has that the Honda doesn't have. Sources! A sources button right in the radio one. You hit that and you can go right to your sources. It makes it so much easier. So you see the screen is it's passable. It works fine. Looks good. We're going to lower the volume. Again, you always have the sources button, which is very important. Big pause button, so forth, play, forward and back, and of course, automatic skipping back and forth and automatic random, which I like. You can also jump immediately to different places. And here's the nice thing. Unlike the Honda, the numbers actually change as you go. And it's very quick to get there. I like that. That's very good. Very good, Ford. Good setup on that. You press the actual name on there, and it gives you all the information on the that Grace Note information that you have, where it is on the on the root of the device. I'm running off of a thumb drive. I have a bunch of music on. Of course, you got your back button. We'll go back real quick. Also for browsing, don't look at the browse on this one. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly how to browse. Yeah, the search, we'll just do a new search. Again, you can go by artist, albums, songs, genres. You can explore the entire device and go through. Let's give you an idea what it looks like to do it. Artists, you got A to Z jump or new search, where you can actually just, I believe with the new search, oh yeah, you switch back. But you got an A to Z jump here. And I like this. I would still prefer that this is a QWERTY keyboard, or at least have the choice of doing a QWERTY keyboard. I think it would be better that way. I really do. Let's see. I'm going to switch this back. I'm going back to, I shut off the headlamps. I wanted to get this a little brighter again. There we go. It's just a little easier to read that way. I want to see what I have under C. Takes you right to the C. And you can go in and look at all the stuff here. You can look at all the weird, different things I've got. All right, let's get a minor review of what's going on with this stereo. This is a Sony system, and I showed you what the speakers look like in the back. They're big magnets. They put out a lot of bass, my friends. A lot of bass. They're very boomy. The treble is very overpowered. There's no rattling. The system is acceptable. It's not great. And it's not detailed because all the treble is lost. Even when maximum treble and mid-range moved halfway up, it's just not enough. I think they overdid it for the wow factor, which it did do to me the first moment I used it, and it worked as a wow factor. But nope, just doesn't do it. I'm not really going to do much change with this. This is a leased car. The lease deal was so good, and so forth. The car rides very smoothly. It's a very smooth on-the-road car. This is not exciting like the Honda. This is more of a cruiser. We're going to get out of the radio. I've said all I need to be about the radio. There's not really much to say about the radio. We're going to go back to the home button, leave it there. We're going to go back to here. And we're going to back off. There's not much to say about this car. In fact, it is a cruiser. I saw another review by somebody, or at least I wish it was Consumer Reports. They were asking what's a good car to buy in this particular range, that was good if you have a family, you don't want to wake them up while you're driving. And they named this car, and I have to agree, this car is pretty smooth on the road. It's pretty quiet overall. The engine's a little droney, but that's a hybrid. That's what you get with hybrid plug-in hybrids. It's just frickin' annoying. That aspect. They're going to have to figure out a better way to do it, but it is what it is, and I can live with it. The car is very quiet on the road. It's a cruiser. It's reasonably comfortable. Seats have plenty of settings on them, although they're not as comfortable as they look. They're comfortable enough, but they're not comfortable as they look. It's got a million settings on it. You should be able to set it. I think it's like a 10-way power seat. The steering wheel is also tiltable. I think it also has telescopic, but I haven't tried that yet. We'll have to double check on that. What's my general opinion of this car? It's okay. The word I use is meh. Meh. It's boring. I mean, it's good looking if you want a car that's going to hold a pretty large number of people. Not much cargo unless you use the back seats. But it'll hold plenty of people. Get pretty good gas mileage. You see my gas mileage dropped from sitting here and running. That was stupid. Well, I'll game it up more when I go to work tomorrow. It's not a bad car. It's got a good look. It's got a good face. The rear end's kind of ugly. But it's a good-looking car. It's competent on the road in dry and wet weather. These tires that it comes with are a disaster in snow. These are 3-season tires. Definitely 3-season tires. If you're in the snow area, you are going to have to work into your cost of what you're buying to get snow tires, or work out a deal with Ford for snow tires. No change on that. Also, you saw that I had all-season floor mats. You need those too. These floors are huge. There's plenty of leg room. You're not going to be dying for leg room. But this car, if I had it to lease again, would I lease it again? I don't think so. It's not bad. It's just boring. It's boring. Good cruise control. Lane keep assist doesn't work right. It doesn't work right, Ford. You need to fix that. But it's generally okay. I'm going to turn the lights back on. I never showed. There's your glove compartment. Not much to see. It's a double height glove compartment. It's basic. I would prefer single height. The double height it takes up a lot of room. Hold on a second. I'm going to check something. Okay. I was looking for the name of the guy who sold me this car at Ford. and I can't find it, and that's very disappointing because I really wanted to put a shout out for them. But it's Row Ford in Westbrook. I was pretty happy dealing with them. They were pretty easy to deal with, and this salesperson was really wonderful. I don't think I'll ever find the name, and it bothers me that I don't have it. But, well, that's the end of this review. That's about as far as we're going to go on this car. Final review, 5.5 to a 6. It's a bore. It's a boring car. It's a good cruiser. It's got a lot of technology in it. Drives well. I mean, it's only got 2,348 miles. It's, you know, it's too early to tell how reliable it's going to be. But it's boring. It's boring. Well, take care, guys. Verdier 400, VERDIER 400 at gmail.com if you have any questions, any comments, whatever. And take care, and I don't think I'll be doing any more reviews because I'm out of cars. I hope this was helpful, or at least gave you an idea. And you take care of yourself. Bye-bye.